Hi, and welcome to another video. This week I'm creating something completely unplanned and experimenting with a few new tools for creative play. I have this really large brush by Daler Rowney, which I've not used yet. It's a Graduate XL size 50 filbert. And then I've picked out a mix of other large brushes that I want to play with to get some large marks down initially on the paper. I've also got my trusty palette knives and a large metal scraper, which I might try. I'm going to work on this A3 cartridge paper by C. White of Brighton, which is really affordable, and because of that I think it will free me up and take the pressure off to just play with my materials. I've got an A4 pad too, but I might not use that as I don't want to work too small and confined. I'm using a range of acrylic inks, some straight from the jar and others that I have pre-mixed to create my own unique colours. And finally, I have a few dry mark making tools like Stabilo woodies, oil pastels and soft pastels. I've no idea what will come out of this experimentation and none of it is planned. It could be a complete disaster, but I'm inviting you along to demonstrate that not all creative work has to fulfil a purpose, but the process of play is still very valuable. I'm starting out by applying ink randomly to the paper, and I've already noticed a problem with the tools I've chosen, as I can't dip the larger brushes into the ink pots, so I've already had to adapt a bit. I really wanted to start with some large bold ink marks, and on this first piece I've not been too successful. This new brush is also much heavier than the brushes I usually use, so getting used to the feeling of it in my hand and how it applies the paint and ink is a bit of a challenge. However, I really enjoy the freedom, as I certainly can't apply paint precisely and detailed with a brush this size. You'll see as I go on, I do get more confident in using this brush and eventually get the large bold marks that I was looking for. But this is all part of the idea, to take time to play and experiment with the new tools and new materials. As I'm experimenting, I'm reminding myself that I don't need to justify and give a reason to everything I create. Sometimes it's just about getting to know some new tools and new materials. I want to explore how I can create large marks with ink and then layer over them with paint and other dry materials. There's no goal or plan to turn these into something I can sell, especially not on this paper, or it might not even be something I can scale up onto a canvas. Play and experimentation like this is one of my favourite ways to get my creative juices flowing and to try out new colours, layers and mark making without worrying about the outcome. Shifting my mindset away from the pressure of always creating art that serves a purpose is really freeing, and I think play is so important for our creative growth. So whether you want to take some loose pieces of paper and try some new materials as I am, or doodle in your sketchbook, just allow yourself to play, as these activities will give a huge boost to your creativity. The pieces that I'm making might not produce results that are immediately transferable to my artwork, but I'm learning so much just in the activity of playing. For example, I'm gaining confidence in using these much larger brushes and understanding how they can be used with ink and paint. Instead of focusing on the result of some creative time, perhaps ask, what can I learn or understand from this creative time? By playing, you can certainly develop techniques that you may transfer to future paintings, or it may simply be a time to try something you've been thinking about a lot. Just getting that idea out of your head and onto paper can start you off on a whole new journey of exploration, and it will free up mental space for new creative ideas to emerge. I'm doing 3 pieces like this today to really learn about the tools and the materials and how they work. They'll be very similar, but I'll try and apply different techniques to each and possibly finish them in a different way as well.
just where it was needed. Gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing. Faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by dawn. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt. A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead, and in the eyes of time, nobody is losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
Now that I have the 3 pieces with initial layers of ink and paint down, I've let them dry a bit. and I want to layer over with some dry materials. I've chosen soft pastels to do this because they add such an intense and saturated colour that will work well layered on top, and I can also blend and blur them. The bright neon pink on this piece was a bold choice, but that's what this playful creative time is all about. Trying new things and stepping out of the comfort zone. Be curious and respond to those happy accidents. Filming this video was a little tricky, as often in these play sessions I simply get lost in the process, so that I'm not really able to explain what I'm doing and why, but I hope it's still really useful, if not just to encourage you to take some time to explore freely without being concerned over the usefulness of the result. Thank you so much for watching, and happy creating!